The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Alright, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, I am back again. I just did the Offset 21 Savage and the Future Thug album reviews, or compared to two. I've been saying I was going to do this for quite some time, and I finally have the free time to do so, or I'm making the free time rather, for my people. We're going to talk two artists that, you know, for good or for bad, they're going to be compared to each other for the rest of their careers, I believe. It's just a Memphis thing, man. Two artists from Memphis. One I've always looked at as a couple years ahead of the other, and Gotti a couple years ahead of Dolph. Two guys that got to their route different ways, and again, I love them both. I've interviewed one, I've met both of them. I've interviewed Dolph a few times. I got love for both of these guys, and they released projects a week apart. This is like the third time that these two have released projects like a week apart from each other. I don't know if it's coincidence or not. Anyways, so Yo Gotti released I Still Am, and a week before that, Young Dolph released Thinking Out Loud. Now this is Dolph's first release, obviously, since he was released from the hospital, after being shot a few times. The brother is recovering. Godspeed to him. And for Yo Gotti, this is a release. I believe this is his last album on his label. I'm not 100% sure about that. For him, this is just carrying the momentum off his huge record, Rack It Up. It was right to drop a project. When you got a record like Rack It Up, for those who don't understand how streams work right now, Rack It Up is going to drive the success of the album to an extent. He can use all those streams and plays that Rack It Up has acclimated. Is it Rake It Up or Rack It Up? Why do I call it Rack It Up? It's Rake It Up, right? Hey, whatever. Rake It Up. You can use all that success from that record, streaming, album sales, all that sales equivalent, all that, and you can throw it in on the album, and it can work for you. So the new wave is you drop a project like call it a quote unquote mixtape. You drop it, one record props from it. You take that record off the project and save it for your album. That's what Gotti did with the Rake It Up, featuring obviously the queen, Nicki Minaj. All right. Now let's get into some numbers real quick. Then I'll give my opinion on the tapes, and we'll throw out the numbers. So for Young Dolph, on his first week, he did 10,000 pretty much pure album sales. All right, that's a total of 25,997 in total equivalent sales. He did some streams, about 22,000. Again, those streams don't count for pure sales. They have to be converted over. So we get to a number. I know a couple people reporting the wrong numbers, but when we get to a number, Young Dolph's first week, 25,997, and that got him up to number 16, I believe, on Billboard. So really good for him. He's independent. So what does that mean? All that money stays in-house, right? He ain't giving that money to anybody. That's Dolph's money, and Gotti's on the label. Obviously, he got to split that money a few different ways. Now, we want to talk about Yo Gotti's I Still Am. He did 38,000. That's 19 in pure sales, and a streaming count of 23.8. Again, in all the numbers, Gotti pretty much outsold Dolph. Total 38, 137. That got him number 6 on Billboard and number 4 the week of its release for hip hop albums. Again, really good spot when you're competing with what else was Gotti competing with? He was competing with some projects. He was definitely competing with some projects. So good spot for him. I think he was competing with Chris Brown. I think 21 Savage and Offset. He was competing with some projects. So again, good spots for both of these guys. Dolph gets to keep a little bit of that, more of that bread to himself. Gotti's on a label, and he has management, so that money has to get split a few more ways. But when we want to talk about just these projects here, I'll remove the album sales joints. We want to talk about these projects. I thoroughly enjoyed Dolph's. I didn't really care for Gotti's that much, just to be honest with you. You talking about Yo Gotti, somebody who he is in my top. He has probably 2 of my favorite 5 mixtapes all time. CM7 is definitely my favorite tape of all time, period. And we ain't even getting into that conversation. CM7 is my favorite tape all time, period, from Gotti. But at the same time, I know where he's at in life. He's not at CM7 anymore. He's at a different spot in life, talking about different things. He's shooting for, he's either A, keeping it real street, or B, he's shooting for radio records. And nothing's wrong with that. Again, he's on the back end of his career. I get it. Ain't nobody mad at that. Again, it's not for me anymore. But when I was coming up, Gotti's music was just different for me. It's not there anymore, and I'm not mad at that. You got to grow up, right? You got to grow up. So that the project I Still Am was not as exciting for me, somebody being a long-time Gotti fan. Here, I'm looking at the project right now as we speak. Obviously, Rack It Up it really is Rake It Up. So Rake It Up is cool. The one-on-one record with Lucci and Meek was cool. The Yellow Tape was okay. The 2908 seems to be a lot of the people's favorite. So his second actual single is Juice, and that's hitting the radios now. That one might be around. We'll see if it picks up. Might need to do a remix and put a feature on it to really hit it with that one. The tape though is just not my cup of tea. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now, Dolph's Thinking Out Loud. Again, not my favorite Dolph tape either. But the more I play it, the more I like it. Initially, I was like, I'm cool on it. But the While You Here is one of my favorite Dolph records all time. It's an emotional Dolph record with him opening up about his past. Pretty much, it's Dolph saying, look, I just got shot. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on this earth. None of us know how long we're gonna be on this earth. You better hug your mom and daddy and tell them you love them while you're still here. You better tell your chick, you love her because she the one that had your kids while you're still here. And I like that record a lot. My favorite by far on the project. Number 2, that Go Get Some Mo. I spit it in Go Get Some Mo. Hey, Go Get Some Mo. With that little Ty Dolla $ign feature on it is incredible. Obviously, Gucci did his thing. I thought he got an old Gucci feature on it. 2 Chainz, I really didn't care for his verse much on it. But that Go Get Some Mo, that is hard. All right? And then there's a couple other records I like. What's the Deal? What's the Deal? What's the Deal? Point Across is cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. To Go Get Some Mo and the While You Here are 2 of my favorite Dolph records. While You Here is one of my favorite Dolph records of all time, right? I like this tape, and if we're gonna judge these artists as 2 artists who are trying to put out street trap tapes, I think Dolph's tape fits that demographic more than Gotti's tape does. I thought Gotti's tape was kind of in between, playing both sides. I want street records, I want radio records, so it's kind of toss up on Gotti's. I thought Dolph stuck to his demographic, his core demographic, and gave them what they wanted more. If you're a Dolph fan, you're happy with that tape. If you're a Gotti fan, you're probably not be happy as you've been with a Gotti tape. But you can't argue with numbers. Rack It Up is by far Dolph could have a lot of success with his tape. He won't have a record close to Rack It Up. Rack It Up hit number 1. All right, Dolph ain't got no number 1s on the tape. So it really depends on what you're in for. If you're somebody who just a casual hip hop fan, or you're a casual trap music fan, you might like Gotti's tape more. Now, for the people who really rock with the street music, Dolph's tape, I think by far is your selection. Again, I would love to know your opinions. Tell me what songs you're rocking with our both projects. Make sure you go cop both projects. We want to show love. Yo Gotti, I Still Am. If I can get my fingers right. Yo Gotti, I'm Still Am. And Young Dolph's Thinking Out Loud. Y'all see what I got going on here? Y'all see me? Again, Gotti wins the sales war, but I think Dolph's going to win the street war with these 2 projects that come out a week between each other. You guys talk to me in the comment box below. Tell me what you think about these projects. Love to know your opinion. Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive reactions like this. I'm out. What's going on is yours truly, Mr. TALIAFERRO. And if you enjoyed this latest video, whether it's sports, hip-hop, or other culture-related activities, please subscribe to my channel right now. And if you want more from TALIAFERRO, you can always subscribe to the React channel for more of your latest reactions and music and sports highlights.